Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today's project is this one. It is perfect for holding one of the really mini molten brown bath shower gels. You can get body lotions, all sorts. So yeah, I have actually for once in my life made a metric version, which is this. I will have the measurements for this over on my blog. But we know it works because this is it. This is slightly wider than the Imperial version, so there's a bit of wiggle room, but it's quite a tight fit because the height is just right. In metric, it measures 7.5 by 3.5 centimeters, so 7.5 tall, and then it's square, so it's 3.5 centimeters. In Imperial, it will be 3 inches by 1.25, so it's a little bit narrower. So, as I say, this is the metric version. Let's make the Imperial. And again, the measurements will be over on my blog. You can get 2 of these out of 1 sheet of cardstock. You can get one that is... Ooh, is that cut? Yes, that is straight. You can get 1 metric and 1 Imperial if you're, you know, so inclined. So, for the metric version, you start with a piece of cardstock that is 15.5 by 15 centimeters. For the Imperial, you're starting with 6 by 5.5. With the long side at the top, you are going to score at 1.25, 4.25, and 5.5. And for some reason, I put and 6, so we'll get rid of that. Right, with the short side at the top, you are going to score at 1.25, oops, not 1.5, 1.25, 2.5, 3.75, and 5. And that's all the scoring that we need to do. So let's pop that out of the way and burnish all our score lines. So if you are interested in my March craft box, hop over to my blog post. As I say, the associated post is linked immediately below this video, and you'll find all the details of the products we've used here today, but also how to order the craft box, which is only available in the UK, I'm afraid, but you know, can't have everything everywhere, unfortunately. Right, so here we are. We have our piece of card. This is going to be our back seam. So we are going to start by getting rid of the bits that we don't need there, which will be that bit and that bit, so that we have just got our seam for the back. And I always cut away the mountain. This is the mountain, this is the valley. I always cut away that scored mark. It just helps keep everything neat. Right, so here, this is going to be our back, because this is going to wrap round. So this will be our back seam. I'm going to keep this. It's up to you whether you decide to go with the cut edge or the folded edge as your back. In fact, actually, 6 and 2 3s really. I might keep this one. Yep, no, I've changed my mind. So this is going to be our flap. So from the back, let's keep the flap. Then this is going to be one of the bits where you tuck it in. And so is this. So this piece here we can get rid of. And I'm just going to wedge in on both sides. And then cut this piece away, and again I'm going to cut away the ridge, and then just wedge there and there. Just check you can see, which you can. Hurrah! So that's sort of where we start, where we end up. Then these pieces I'm going to cut. Again, I'm going to cut away the ridge. And I cut away the ridge at the top and then just wedge in. So we end up taking out this little slither, which has a point. But again, it just helps keep everything neat when you put the box together. So yes, £20 the craft box, and it contains this one contains £18.88 of retail value if you could buy it in the quantities that I'm doing in my box. Oh, I need to just very slightly trim that off as well, so that those are all the same. So they're all very slightly wedged. Okay, so I have got a corner rounder which is now retired. I like to round the corners of the box lids. If you don't have a corner rounder, it doesn't matter. If you've got an envelope punch board, you have a corner rounder because there's one in that. Right, so, actually no, let's plug our brains in. So we need some designer series paper, which I have chosen the little triangle sprinkles, and I've already pre-cut these. These are cut at 1 1/8 of an inch by 2 7/8 of an inch, and they just give a nice little border. And then I've got 1 square for the lid, which is 1 1/8 of an inch square. So I'm just going to run some fast fuse down these. Again, you could use snail, that's perfectly fine. This is only paper. And as we know now, fast fuse is only going to be with us for as long as it is in stock. That will vary region to region. So America and Asia Pacific could have stock when we don't, etc., etc. Though I have to say, I think America, or the North American market, may have already sold out. They had a promotion which we had in Europe the back end of last year, where you could buy a fast fuse and get 2 refills free. And when we had it last year, they also had it, and they kind of went out of stock so fast that they withdrew the offer in the US, and they did it again a couple of weeks ago, and it again all sold out. And it was at that point we were told that it wasn't going to be restocked. So it's possible that the US don't have any now. Don't know. Anyway, we do. Hurrah! So just keep an eye on that. If you like fast fuse and you want to stock up, Celebration is a perfect time to do it, because of course you get free product with a qualifying order. Why wouldn't you? So that's all the designer series paper stuck on. We just need to pop some fast fuse down here, probably a little nearer to the crease line. There we go, that's a bit better. Then, because it's a symmetrical box, all we have to do is fold into the middle, and there we are, perfectly lined up. So front, so that's the last flap we'll pop in. So I am going to pop some adhesive on each of the other flaps, just so that it's all nice and neat. It doesn't need it from a strength point of view, but it stops it becoming sort of gapey. I think it's the only word I can use, gapey. So yeah, so fast fuse down both sides and the end, and there we are. I'll just pop my bone folder in to make sure that's properly stuck, which it is. Let's just check that the lid doesn't need trimming, because sometimes you do need to trim, but that's fine. The moment of truth, does it fit? Yes, so that's good. Right, I've actually got when I have a piece of ribbon left, I stick it onto the new reel, so that I remember I've got it. So let us tie a bow. Always easier when there isn't a camera running. This is the Lemon Lime Twist Ombre ribbon, which is gorgeous, and for a very narrow box is perfect, because the other ribbons that I've got in this kit are a little wider, so for a narrow box this is ideal. So let's tie the half knot. And I'm making this look much harder than it is. Right, so that's the bit that we kind of need in place first. Just straighten that out. Lovely. And then tie our bow. And then, oops. Definitely making this look harder than it actually needs to be. It was much easier when the camera's not running. Straighten that, then just trim that end and trim this end about the same length. There we are. So that's that. Then we just need to do a teeny weeny bit of stamping. Scrap of Whisper White. Then I've got a 1.5 inch circle punch, and this is the 1 3/8 inch scallop punch, which is new in the spring summer catalogue. And then I'm grabbing from the Picture Perfect birthday stamp set, which is an optional extra on the craft kit, the Treat Yourself stamp, which I've got mounted on a B block. Then Bermuda Bay. Oh, shall I use Lemon Lime Twist? Ooh, I'm going to use Lemon Lime Twist. Let's have a change of idea. So Lemon Lime Twist, purely because I've used the Lemon Lime Twist ribbon. So stamp that down. Doesn't need to be straight because it's going to be punched out with a circle punch. Specifically the scallop circle punch. It's very tight. It does actually go slightly off the end, but it's only the curly Q that goes off the end, and I'm fine with that. So punch that out, and it's literally, you can just see the little curly Qs at the end. So get rid of that. Then what should we use? Lemon Lime Twist? Why not? So the green glimmer paper and the 1.5 inch circle punch. You could use dies if you've got dies, but punches are just as good. So, oh, glimmer everywhere, which I have no problem with. I love being covered in glitter. It makes me remember that I am a child at heart, which is never a bad thing. Right, one dimensional, which is just as well because it's the only one I've got left. Pop that on the back and onto our glimmer paper. Now, on the original, I used fast fuse down the sides to hold this in place, but the ribbon still runs free. Because this is narrower, I am tempted, where's the front? There's the front. I'm tempted, oh no, it will still just work. Using fast fuse on glimmer paper is interesting, so I'm actually going to put it on, I hope, onto my box. Yes, just be gentle pressure, and then pop that on there. It works better that way round, but there you are. So 2 little treat boxes, and as you can see, this one is slightly narrower. They're the same height, but this one is slightly narrower. Possibly see it from that angle, but they're both so cute and perfect just for a little gift giving of, you know, a bit of nonsense. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel, which there's a subscription button in the bottom corner just down there. If you need any of the products, then just hop over to my online store. There's a link. There's a sort of multi-link link in the description bar below, which if you click on it, you get all my social media links, including my online store. If you want the craft box, then pop over to my my website. There's a link to that below, and that will have all the details. You just need to drop me an email, and I can then send you an invoice, whether you want to include any of the optional extras and stuff like that. So yes, if you want to shop from my online store, just direct from my online store, do use the Hostess code, then you get to share in the Hostess rewards, and you also get to be a member of my VIP group. which means that when you order, you get a thank you card. In fact, you get a thank you card whether you use the hostess code or not. So you get a thank you card and a little gift, which again you get whether you use the hostess code or not. But if you use the hostess code, you also get a share in the rewards. I hope that made sense. Celebration is a great time to buy. Use it for stocking up with all the bits and pieces that you know you're going to need, because then you get free product. Every £45 you spend, you qualify for some free product. Blah, blah, blah. There's also the joining offer, which is amazing. So if you buy the starter kit, it's just a toe in the water, £99, you get to choose £130 worth of product of your choice. Plus, during celebration, you get to choose 2 stamp sets from the annual or spring-summer catalogue, and you don't pay for them. So you could end up with your £130 product, could end up being nearer £200, and you get it all £99 delivered to your door, including catalogues and some business supplies, if you want to run it as a business. But hey, if you just like Stampin' Up products, sign up to my team and just buy them at a discount. You can't really go wrong. And if you decide it's actually not for you, then that's fine too. You just get to keep everything that you've got. So, thank you very much again for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!